In honor of the first ever hyphenated player in Major League Baseball history, and since it's Wednesday, we're going to have a hyphenated hump day.
You did say something during the production meeting. You said, how much are you going to milk this hyphenated last name? But
this is good.
I'm going to run it as long as I can.
This is our production staff. This is Ian and Dan cooking this up. So I'm going to hit with you with a hyphenated term. You tell me how it applies to Major League Baseball either today or something that's happened of late.
All right.
And the first hyphenated term is old-fashioned.
All right, so I'm going to go with Jesus Luzardo right now. Let's not forget, this guy was dealing in that Phillies rotation. Then he ran into 2 outings of absolute what was happening, trying to figure this out. 20 runs he gave up, mate. 20 runs, couldn't get out of the 4th inning. So coming into this game, there's a lot going on in this young man's head, that's for sure. Not to mention, too, by the way, that we had the word on the street was he was tipping his changeup with runners at second base. So look at this. I'll tell you what, Plesac did a great breakdown. Look at the hand. So he had to make this adjustment. So not only are you dealing with everything that's going on in the last couple starts, but then you've got to make this mechanical adjustment, and then you've got to face the Cubs. So a lot going on in this young man's head. But I want to go to the 2nd inning for Jesus Luzardo, and this is one of those fork-in-the-road moments for how your outing is going to go. He gives up the 2 hits, and these were the 2 strikes. See, the wheels are starting to turn, and guess what? Runner on second. So I have to take this into action. I've got that little, glove change, and then you have to turn it up a notch and have a short memory. So situation right here, he gets into a good count, right? Gets that. There's that change up. Now this pitch, look at this. Good, healthy swing right here from Shaw at the dish. So you're starting to think, okay, are they giving the pitches back? So he does the little inside move, just to check to see what that runner's doing, to see what's going on, take a breath, because guess what? I'm going to throw it again. I'm going to back up and throw this pitch again. I don't want him knowing what's coming. Boom. The minute he got that pitch and he said, you know what? I think I'm good to go. He was in absolute cruise control. The fastball changeup combination was filthy, and all of a sudden, the last 2 outings were in the rearview mirror. He was so good. The Phillies needed this today out of him.
What a day. What a day at the Cubs' expense when 6 innings allowed the 1 run, 10 punch-outs to no walks, and kept the Cubs 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Really good. All right, more pitching stuff. We're keeping this in your wheelhouse, and the next hyphenated term is long distance.
Well, I got to get Spencer Schwellenbach. Now, we had a couple CGs. We had Abbott yesterday with the Reds. We saw one from Peterson, but this was really good. And look, the Braves need some length and some good consistency out of that rotation, especially with Spencer Strider. What he's doing, had some injuries, but man, he was so good. Look, the split, when you're looking at this, thinking with Schwellenbach, if he's going to go CG 9 innings the way he did today, you're thinking to yourself, it's probably going to be that split. It wasn't. That fastball variation with that 2-seam and 4-seam at the top of the strike zone. And by the way, he hit 98 in the last pitch he threw, so he still has something left in the tank. Really efficient today. Good to see from Spencer Schwellenbach.
Braves aren't dead, by the way. Everybody's acting like the Braves are dead. There's a lot of canvas on the season left. We're only 2+ months in, and with outings like what they got from Schwellenbach today, we know what that lineup's capable of. I love that one. All right, next hyphenated hump day term, bright red.
Well, I got to go with Aaron Savali. Now, he is the odd man out in this rotation. We know about Big Mizorowski, big 6'7" coming in. But look at this quote, right? Now, you see Pat Murphy, he's not happy. But Aaron Savali was pretty vocal about the fact he's moving to the bullpen. But when you don't want to be that guy, Matty. You don't want to be the guy in the middle of June. There's plenty of season left. He's not having a great year. He's struggling to get deep into games. And guess what? You're going to be the odd man out. You have to suck it up, get into that bullpen. Do you think there is going to be another opening in the rotation? So this is a tough one. He has to get face-to-face with Pat Murphy and whoever else. And when Big Miz, the big 6'7" prospect, comes up and he's throwing 100, he's got to be on the top step clapping away.
Yeah, hey, the Big Miz was on people's radar at the draft combine not long ago, and so was Spencer Schwellenbach, and it leads us to, and here he is. Man, he was a big drink of water back then as a kid before he even signed. Yeah, he's grown from there. Right,
he was dealing in AAA too. He's had, what, the 10 or 12 starts, 2-3-3, so he's ready to roll. Big boost for the Milwaukee Brewers.
And here's Spencer Schwellenbach when he was at the draft combine with all the metrics attached to what he was doing in front of the watchful eyes of Major League scouts everywhere. And all of it has worked out.
See, they didn't have this. You see that commercial we flashed up with the grainy old commercial. They didn't have these metrics back when I was pitching. I'm kind of glad they did.
By the way, join us for this year's MLB Draft Combine coverage live on-site at Chase Field coming up June 17th from 12 to 6 Eastern Time. Watch tomorrow's stars today. I have one term to add to the hyphenated hump day fun that we're having here, and it's mind-blowing, because Jose Ramirez is mind-blowingly good, mind-blowingly overlooked, and mind-blowingly underrated. This guy's not a good player. He's a superstar. Dare I say superhero. When the land needs a hero, Jose Ramirez is always there. The Cleveland Guardians hit 240 with runners in scoring position. He hits 385. The Cleveland Guardians hit 207 with runners in scoring position and 2 out. He hits 417. He wore out the Angels this year.
Right.
Had a 3-homer game at their expense in Anaheim, and then did it to him in Cleveland a week and a half ago. Take a look at this. Bottom of the 10th. You need a hero? There he is. 7th inning or later, the Guardians hit 240. Jose Ramirez hits 384. I'd say he's a one-man band, but that's not fair. Over the weekend, this was Saturday, 3-1 count, bottom of the 7th inning. They need 2 to tie, and he gives it to him on the dinger. He's that good. He's top 5, top 4 in the American League across the board, and just like Teddy Roosevelt, speak softly and carry a big stick. He doesn't say much, man, but he does all his talking with his bat, and he is a lot of fun to watch. He's been on base safely in 37 straight. That got extended today. 385 batting average. He's top 4 in the American League in all of these categories. And the on-base streak seemingly has no end. Oh, and by the way, Ryan, he has pretty good time playing, too. Gets drilled today and then hung out for a while.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. He's so consistent. But some of the numbers, too, when you take him out of that Guardians lineup, I mean, it's not even close. I mean, the closest player when you're talking about WAR is Stephen Kwan. He's hovering around the 2 mark, where Jose Ramirez around that 3.5. Everyone else is hovering around the 1. It's unbelievable. 6-time
All-Star, 5-time Silver Slugger, and there have been players in the past who've been roadblocked to winning MVPs because there's this generational talent that wins it all the time. In the case of Jose Ramirez, he's not going to get past Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
Right? As good as he is, and he's been top 5 in AL MVP voting for 5 years.
Right.
I don't know that he's ever going to get past Judge, but man, this guy is an all-time star.
Yeah, and you look at that too, and the numbers he's putting up without the protection as well. Now, I know that Santana had a bigger day today.
Yeah.
I get all that.
And we'll get to that.
Yeah, for sure. But just the fact that he's able to put up those kind of numbers, not to mention too some of the stolen base numbers as well. He's had the last couple of years. He's still running. He's still active on the bases. But man, he is just model of consistency. He just needs some help around.
Carrying him, and we'll give you Ohio Cup highlights as we continue.